In this video, I'll be reviewing your Pokemon, and more specifically, this video is a submission sent by Liam in the nirtheart Discord in the YouTube My Mon text channel. Access to the nirtheart Discord is granted by becoming a YouTube member. Essentially, you get lifetime access to the nirtheart Discord starting at $2, whatever that is in your local currency. I live in Norway, so that is 19 kroner. And in addition to lifetime access, starting the first month, you essentially become a member, you get access to the Discord. Then if you end the renewal, if you really want to, then you keep the access to the Discord as long as you follow the rules. While you are an active member, you get early access to new videos and priority reply to comments and other feedback. So if that is interesting to you, consider becoming a YouTube member. So in this video, we'll be talking about 3 Pokemon that Liam has submitted. And oh man, are these some pristine finds. First off, we have a Typhlosion. Now the Typhlosion, as I can see here, is level 55. And based on the inventory, which is 36, ridiculous, I assume it has been evolved twice, and maybe it has... No, it does not have 1,000 hours. Let's see where we're at. Yes, it's probably got less than 1,000 then. So first of all, let's put in the nature. Berry Specialists with the adamant nature is huge. If you look for the nature on that first screen and you see adamant on a Berry Specialist, you're just like, oh come on, be berry finding, please be berry finding, maybe helping bonus. And in this case, we have both. This Typhlosion unfortunately has a little bit of an awkward ordering of the sub-skills, but overall, Typhlosion is an S-tier Pokemon. And then you have these sub-skills coming up. You kind of just need to just put your head down and just level it up as fast as you can to that target of level 75, because that is where this berry finding comes in. Unfortunately, it's way late. But even with the speed up Typhlosion, with the adamant nature, with helping bonus, if you take away this one, and then, oh yes, it has skill level up M as well. Like, just this is a very solid, usable Typhlosion. It may actually be stronger than base berry finding. Way stronger, potentially. Haven't done the calcs, but I'm pretty sure. Then it has the berry finding. And then at level 100, it has the troll ingredient finder S. We're gonna take that one away. But this is essentially what we're looking at, and this is super strong. Now, imagine if Entei, the productions that Entei produces also would produce skills. I don't know if there would be some funny like feedback loop between, let's say, Gallade and Entei, to where they just trigger in like a feedback. But anyway, this Typhlosion has got the hallmark of a ridiculous berry finding. It's got the berry finding traits. It's got the adamant nature, which is the best nature. It's got helping speed M and helping bonus, as well as the helping, not even helping, but the skill level up on the skills. Typhlosion is not as crazy as Feraligatr. Feraligatr has a super high skill rate. Maybe we can do like this and compare them. We have Feraligatr. Feraligatr is a bit slower though, so maybe that makes up for a bit of the difference. But even on Feraligatr and Typhlosion, I do think the skill level up M is kind of nice. And I bet this Typhlosion probably put in a lot of work during Entei research, because I know Liam's had this crazy Typhlosion for a while, and so it's been an ongoing conversation in the nirtheart Discord, like, have you seen Liam's Typhlosion? Have you seen it? And oh man, the day that berry finding S is unlocked here is gonna be crazy, and I do look forward to that in level 75. I find overall that level 75 is not as far away as most of us would think. If you do look at the EXP curve, it does look dramatic and a little bit intimidating, but there are a couple things that I just think about. Like, when you find these really strong berry specialists, they're mostly going to be overnight anyway. And I don't remember if this was stated in one of the news posts or what, but there's always the potential for some balance adjustments in the game, depending on just how the developers decide to do it. Like, for example, right now, if you are to find or have a week where you have Drowsy between 300 and 400 million, and you don't do naps, those main sessions are kind of underwhelming because the way that the encounters are chosen are very strange. Every time I have like 500-600 million, set a new record, wow, it's just filled with very weak Pokemon. I don't understand why, though my suspicion is the game developers are holding back a little bit in that scaling. And so I don't think it's impossible that in the future, getting high Drowsy power, even at those levels, would give disproportional rewards. In which case, that EXP curve, that is very funny. Like, so let's see if I can paint this. Yeah, so essentially, the curve from 1 to 50 is like this, and then it just has an angle. It's not like an exponential or something, but it's just like it goes like this, and then boom, it's like a wall. And so I wonder in the future if the game developers could give us more daily EXP from Sleep, potentially. If we have a certain research rank, for example, 100 is very low. And so, yeah, just things to think about. I think 75 is closer than we think. So that's a hypothesis. And then we'll see if this Typhlosion will benefit from that. Next Pokemon is Golduck. Is this the 4th or 5th Golduck I've reviewed? You guys really love Golduck. That's great because I also like Golduck a whole lot, and I even made a whole spreadsheet listing the optimal use of Golduck. So this is amazing. We have talked about this Golduck a whole lot in the nirtheart Discord already, so I already know it's cracked. It's really strong. Just watch this. Now, inventory is 19, so this has not been used overnight, and actually, that's how you should be using your Golduck, just during the day. I don't think we're going to talk much about the level 75 and level 100 sub-skills, but in order here, we got Helping Speed M, Skill Trigger M, Berry Finding. This is a really nice Golduck. It has all the hallmarks of a strong skill specialist. It has the Skill Chance Up nature, it has Skill Trigger M for that combo, and then Speed M is better than Trigger S in this case, and especially when you consider the berry value here. Now, one thing that you may end up running into issues with could potentially be inventory, although now that I've made the spreadsheet, we can just look at the math. And so let me see if I can load this back up. Had a little bit of an error here, but I think we should get it going. There we go. All right, so the numbers in this table over here are based on this Golduck right here. So Skill Trigger M, Skill Trigger S, Helping Speed M with the Skill Up nature. Now, if you strike the Skill Trigger here, then the skill rate goes from 23 to 20, like we see with Liam's Golduck. It's got skill rate 20%. So overall, the numbers in this table are a little bit more optimistic, which kind of works in your favor to an extent. But essentially, when you look at the totals here, you kind of, no matter the skills almost, as long as they're geared towards skill, going to be basically the same outcome. So you probably want to collect here within 3 or 4 rolls. Best case scenario, let's say this gets to level 60. We can see in the widget level 60, the ingredients are cacao, apple, cacao. Let's go back to the Discord. It has double apples. It actually has those huge volumes. Let us think for a moment. If we have a Golduck at level 60 and we're super unlucky, we get 4 rolls of apples, worst case scenario. Let's hop back to the screen here. On that 4th roll, that is when the inventory is full. So it doesn't matter that there are apples here. The ingredients down nature is pretty nice, but I would say you probably would like optimally to collect here once every hour on this Golduck to run it really optimally, or at least once every 1.5 hours. Because it is berry finding and probably getting to a high level eventually, I think potentially overall it's not a huge problem if you run into sneaky snacking and you surpass maybe 2.5 hours. But this is the overall table that you can guide yourself on in terms of use. And I would be super stoked if I found a Golduck like this, because the other thing you have to consider is Golduck, one like this, pairs really well with Suicune. And now I haven't done that whole spreadsheet for Suicune. I would imagine if you are running a full-on Suicune team, and let's say you have Suicune, you have 3 berry specialists and a rotational slot, then potentially what you can do is the 3 berry specialists are static. They are on the team, you don't move them. Suicune is that 4th Pokemon on the team at all times, day and night. So those 4 Pokemon on the team 24/7. That 5th rotational slot is very interesting because if you have a Golduck like this, it counts as a unique water type. And if you have a top tier healer on top of that, you can tag team the Golduck with the healer, keep the whole team healed, although maybe the Golduck will have some energy issues then because it's never being healed. That is something to consider. Unless somehow you, let's say, have 2 berry specialists and then a Slowking, or I don't know. That example got a bit scuffed, but I'll have to solve for that later. But either way, the Golduck can be on a Suicune team, and you probably want to collect often even from the Suicune. So maybe triple triggers could come in the future. That would be super, super crazy. Like, that would just push Golduck into S tier. Maybe double S. For now, it probably is still S tier, but double S would be within range. So let's hop on to the next Pokemon. We've talked a lot about Golducks, and this is not just the next Pokemon, but it's the final Pokemon. It's a Delibird, and it's a shiny Delibird. I have been on the Delibird hunt for so long, it just fails to show up, and I feel sad about it. Delibird cannot evolve. Inventory is 21. That means this has 200 hours on it. It's got Ingredient Finder M, huge. It's got Helping Speed S. It cannot be subskill seeded because the Helping Speed comes in at level 75. And it has the Ingredient Finding S. And it's got the Quiet Nature. This is very, very nice. If I had found a Delibird like this, I would invest in it. And Liam is right here doing that with a shiny Delibird. The thing that is not visible here on screen yet is the ingredient list. And the ingredients are eggs, apple, eggs. So you got an ABA Delibird. And this Delibird currently is level 37. But because of the factors here, look at this. You have a Delibird that is shiny, that has well over 1 in 3 chance of having a production that is ingredients. Apple and egg, very complementary ingredients. It's basically desserts, maybe some salads as well. But overall, that ingredient list is not bad, and we will pop into my website to really dig in deeper. But man, the ingredients up nature, the ingredient finder M, the ingredient finder S, the helping speed S, the helping speed M. At that point in time, you don't care about the fact that it has apples in that 2nd slot, because it's going to be fast, it's going to give you exactly kind of what you want, and yeah, You just need to get it to level 60 and you're gonna have as much eggs as you will want. Okay, let's pop into the website for a moment here. Man, there's something about this microphone. My nose is itching. Okay, we got sleep decks and ingredients, and we have the Delibird. So you can see the widget. Actually, Delibird is one of the articles I've already written, although keep in mind it was last updated version 1.7. I haven't finalized the evolution section, so the placeholder Bulbasaur is in there. And so yeah, apples, obviously at this point in time, you would probably want to aim for a Fuecoco. But just those supreme, pristine sub-skills on a Delibird that is so expensive and hard to get, it's hard to argue with. So we had the ABA list, which is right here. If we scroll a little bit up, we can see having eggs at level 60 is the lowest. No, actually not. Whoa, that's bad. What's that? Cacao? Yeah, you do not want cacao on your Delibird. Well, it could potentially be complementary, but overall, Delibird is all about those eggs. So eggs at level 60, decent value, very close call between eggs and apples. The big difference here is at level 30, which is actually not even a big difference. And that comes out to our value here, ingredient list ABA, 525. The overall best list in terms of average value is 538. And this is very close. So I wouldn't worry about that one bit. And the fact that you have apples and eggs covered in one and the same Pokemon, I don't think it's a problem. If you ever need supplemental eggs or supplemental apples, there are other ways to go about it. And, you know, a lot of discussions these days are about mono ingredient lists, and those are super strong. But you also have to consider the sub skills, and this is one of those examples where it makes sense. You invest in it, and then in the case of this Delibird, you would have want to get it to level 60 anyway, and having 2 and 7 on those drops for average of whatever that is. I actually don't know if there are any weights for those drops, but you know, 9 by 2 is 4.5, so you'll on average produce more apples, it seems, than eggs. But that's not bad. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was 3 Pokemon. We had the Delibird, we had the Golduck, and we had the Typhlosion. So overall, Liam, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. To everyone else, you can leave a big old thumbs up on this video if you want to see more content like this. And a final reminder, if you want to join the Discord, you simply become a YouTube member. And so far, pretty much everyone who comes along seemed to have a really good time in the nirtheart Discord. There's a lot of discussion happening in the Pokemon Sleep category. Rate My Mon, super underrated text channel. There's a lot of different feedback from a lot of different players. You get to post your Pokemon and get a just wide range of perspectives, and overall it helps you make more choices suited for your needs, and better choices, better Pokemon, all that stuff. But that's not all that nirtheart has to offer, but I don't really need to go at length about that in this video. So thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you again in another video.